all four must assume responsibility for the failure of, in fact, not only a failure, but the carnage, the massacre that took place. I am naming President Aquino because I don't think it serves the public interest to fudge the issue, never to mention his name as if he were some sacred cow. I don't think he needs my protection. He can stand for himself. Plus, no matter how strongly I will criticize the president, I will say that I'm definitely against the coup d'etat, which, as of last report, has already been the subject of a summit meeting among the leaders of certain rogue groups who want to eliminate the president to make way for somebody else, meeting together with their financiers. The most prominent financier is the richest man of all. I think you are familiar with who that is. So, I am against removal of President Aquino by any means except those that are legal. At present, as president, he can only be impeached out of office. Thereafter, he can, of course, be sued. Therefore, my criticism should be taken as a surgical operation to determine what should not be done again. And also, as member of the panel that is hearing the BBL, especially the aspect on constitutional amendments, it just changes almost completely my attitude towards the BBL. What is proved to me by these hearings is the lack of sincerity of the MILF in shooting down our men, and possibly with the BIFF. Together, they shot down 44 Filipinos who are all dead now. So, how can you possibly deal with a negotiation partner who accepts perfidy as a mode of conduct? And I'm sure I'm not alone in taking this evolution of attitude. I'm sure many senators think the way I do.
Ms. Araneta of Manila Standard today.
Good morning, ma'am. If the four were responsible for the death of the SAP troopers, so what actions can be taken to make them answerable for what happened? They can be placed on courts martial. They can be charged as civilians in civilian courts and undergo the process of preliminary investigation before the ombudsman. Particularly the president. Oh, the president, you cannot do a thing. He has immunity from suit, except impeachment. But he loses that immunity when he leaves office in 2016. Can he be charged after his term? Yes, that is a principle of law. Can he be impeached based on what is said? Well, you know, impeachment is not purely a question of law, but also a question of how many votes he has in either chamber. If his party, the Liberal Party, has sufficient votes, they can kill an impeachment complaint in the lower house alone, so it will never reach the Senate. Most people discount the possibility of an impeachment because he has widespread support among the representatives and the senators.
Jam Sante of GMA7.
You mentioned that the Geneva Convention was violated.
Yeah.
What happened? What's the process to be followed? What are the penalties?
Well, it's like this. As I said before, the lower officials can be charged either in courts martial or in ordinary courts of law and follow the usual procedures of preliminary investigation. But under the statute of the Rome International Criminal Court, under the Rome Statute of the International Criminal Court, if the official has the rank of colonel or above, including the head of state, then he can be prosecuted in the International Criminal Court if someone files a complaint. So first, he has to be a colonel or above, general, meaning to say a general of various ranks, no? Or the president himself, or whatever he might be called as head of state.
Mr. TJ Bergonio of the Philippine Daily Inquirer.
Hi, ma'am. Ma'am, just to go back to the president, would you say that the President has been forthcoming about his role in this operation?
No, not completely. I watched him on television when he said, matagal na yung pursuit of the terrorists Marwan and Usman. And I was informed in the entire course of that pursuit around Mindanao, chasing them from one location to another. And then he said, so hindi ko na kailangan pa magsabi na ego na ang SAF massacre or the SAF adventure. Hindi na kailangan sa akin pa manggaling. Dahil the whole time they knew that I had approved the mission and that therefore they were free to take action to pursue the objectives of the mission, which was to serve warrants of arrest on Usman and Marwan. I don't believe that for a minute. I'm sorry. This is important. This is very, very important. Number one, for the BBL law, because it will reflect whether the ceasefire mechanisms agreed upon by our negotiators with those from the rebel groups will be respected. And number two, it will be very important because Malaysia has intervened, the United States has intervened as well. They are now saying that their only intervention was offering the cash reward. Blow me down. I mean, tell that to a 6-year-old. They did not intervene. That is one other aspect that should be investigated. Investigate the intervention of the U.S. government so we can see how much intervention took place, at what level it took place, such that they were already exercising the powers of sovereignty of our country. That's another aspect. Was there a drone there? We don't know. They've come up. The important question is this. When the finger was cut off, Marwan, why was it sent to the FBI, not to the NBI? Is there anything derogatory here implied by the failure to give the finger for identification to the NBI, to our FBI, or to our NBI?
Ms. Nympha Ravelo.
Maybe still as a follow-up question.
Questions?
How did you get the sense hearings from the testimonies that there's an agreement among the higher-ups just for Tadeñas to take the vote?
Oh yes, he's a scapegoat, and he's willing to be a sacrificial lamb, but at the cost of telling the truth to the entire Filipino people. It is correct for Mr. Iqbal to underline what is the truth. The problem is he and I have different versions of the truth. But in any event, it is important that you must know exactly what happened, that government must not hide the truth from its own people. That is the politics of lying. Just as the MILF very clearly is engaged in the politics of lying, our government should not fall into the same temptation. Next.
Ms. Nympha Ravelo.
Ma'am, kayo po ba ay naniniwala na may direct hand si President Aquino sa Open Exodus at he allowed General Purisima para po mag-participate?
The answer is categorically yes. He had a direct hand from the very beginning according to his own admission. Yun lang, ang version niya is, in the due course of the 4 years time that it took to catch these terrorists, he dropped out of the line of command because anyway, people already understood what his position was. I don't buy that. And ito naman si General Napeñas, wala nang choice. Hindi naman pwedeng, kasi kung ipipiliin nila si Alan Purisima will take responsibility, aminin nila that he violated the terms of his preventive suspension. That's why it had to be Napeñas.
So, ma'am, sabi niyo nga po, the mission was a failure. So, how can the President make up for it? Should he apologize, at least since he cannot be sued at this time?
That's a very difficult question. First of all, it will involve his admission that what he told the Filipino people during his televised message was not the entire truth. Maybe we can start from that.
Ma'am, hindi po namin kilala yung richest man. Pwede niyo po ba i-identify?
He is well known to have funded similar coups d'etat in the past. So, that's why you know him. No, because he'll make a hue and cry about it, although I'm immune from libel, since we are discussing Senate matters within the Senate hall itself. I don't want to make a big deal out of it until after the DND has already finished its, what they call this morning, their investigation or their clarification.
Last question. Maki Pulido, GMA 7.
Maki,
Ma'am, good morning po. Ma'am, opinion nyo lang naman, ma'am, regarding the BBL because the AFP and the other sectors are saying na pagka hindi natin itinuloy itong BBL, it might lead to another war in Mindanao. At
Right.
tahimik naman na raw. So, sa opinion nyo, ma'am, talagang kailangan bang itigil natin ang pagtalakay sa BBL?
I don't know what the overall results will be because first there has to be concurrence between the House and the Senate. And then in the Senate, there has to be concurrence among the three committees who have been assigned to the BBL. My committee on constitutional amendments is one of the three committees. So it's hard to predict what will happen. But in my view, BBL is unconstitutional because it violates what the Constitution provides for as the national sovereignty and territorial integrity of our country. Those are the guidelines set by the Constitution in providing for regional autonomous regions, for regional autonomy. So it's obvious that in the contemplation of the Constitution, the territorial units of our country are provinces, cities, barangays, municipalities, and regional autonomous regions. There's no mention at all of a sub-state. That's what they're proposing, a sub-state. That's why, in my view, as a scholar or as a student of constitutional law, it is unconstitutional.
So, sa ngayon, ma'am, hindi stopping the hearings?
We can
altogether?
fine-tune it, but the problem is that our dialogue partner has already proved that they cannot be trusted. Kasi, hindi naman silang kalaban natin dapat eh. Ang kalaban natin yung dalawang terorista. Eh bakit kinukup nila yung terorista doon sa teritoryo nila tapos sabihin mo kanina, hindi ba I was telling that, I think Mr. Iqbal, can you say with a straight face that you are not hiding those terrorists, they were in your territory, and you still insisting on the opposite? That shows patent lack of sincerity. So how can we pass a law to accommodate the wishes of a partner who is not in good faith? Plus, remember, under the BBL, the results of the deliberations in the Congress will be submitted to a plebiscite participated in only by the people of the Bangsamoro, not to the entire country. That is contrary to what the Constitution provides. There are many reasons why it is unconstitutional, and with the permission of the chair of the major committee, the Committee on Local Government, I will release my own report that I wrote personally on the reasons why BBL is unconstitutional. Ang gusto nilang mangyari, papalitan natin ang ating saligang batas para makuha nilang gusto nila. My goodness, that is the direct opposite of constitutionalism. Everything must conform to the Constitution, no matter how stupid or ludicrous the Constitution might seem to other people. Everything there, word for word, must be followed. That is constitutionalism. So, dito, kabaliktaran ang nangyayari. Gumawa sila ng Bangsamoro Basic Law na panibagong mga probisyon na wala sa ating Constitution, or even worse, salungat talaga sa ating Constitution. That is my direct objection.
Thank you, Senator.
Parang ang attitude nila, palitan yung Constitution nyo para makuha namin ang gusto namin. How impudent.